It's us. Go. Her and her friends want liquor. I left and came back with 4 rums like Reddit. Check up on all my exes. Big body up in Texas. All white body, but it's not a Lexus. My cup look a little reddish. Purple inside a yellow Fanta. Now it's like Cameron Reddish. She told me she's not that flexible. Neither's my schedule. We still gon' check it. I treat the money like messages. Keeping it blue like I still ain't read it. Crosses on my glasses, fuck all the ops, we fastest, make them past tense. Bitches treat me just like Fat Farm, my name on all they asses. Nigga flex his chains, I held my hands up and made invisible glasses. I still couldn't see it. Treat a broke nigga like we playing freeze tag, cause I just couldn't be it. Treat a pussy like a janky friend who broke something, fuck it up and leave it. She wanna be 31, gotta stamp it up in ink. She like 42, I'm just like you without the drink. Concrete diamonds, lay our chains on the ground and make a skating ring. My mans will slap a nigga at the war show like I'm Jada Pink. Okay, and US in my bio like I love my country. First I'm loading up right now, bitch, I can feel it coming. First thing off the bat, I can't love a gnat, it's just a gnat. My stepper can't be televised, he's known to twitch like Casanat. All of my ropes is gold, I'm using them bitches to tie the sack. I hit the bitch from the side, can't risk her digging her nails in my back. Bought in the Seaport so much, walking the pop, the soda went flat.
I was running 2 pints in 2 days. All of my hoes go 2 ways. I've been that nigga since daddy had niggas till 2 ways. Never consent to a due date. My white bitch like my credit card, my black bitch like my blue face. I hate a bougie bitch that try to take me on a police chase. Me and my mom got matching watches, hers just got the new face. Stuffing hundreds in a piggy bank like it's a fly base. They claiming I gotta be Ken and Mace. I need to find Jesus like him, so I can sit down with him and tell him I wanna be just like him. One go to like Tyson, white bitch look like Tyson. Stacking up chicken like Tyson. Where I've been carrying these niggas real soon, I'ma have me a bag like a bison. Late night I call her my Dyson. Squeeze it real tight like a python. 26 bitches in minstrels. Doggy right down in his day clothes. Had too much hair for a ski mask. Every rap nigga was a Benz. We know who would be a Maybach and who we consider the E-class. I don't do GS unless they gon' give me a cheap ass. Ride with this look on my head for so long, it done damn near gave me a heat rash. At 26, mama told me daddy wanted abortion. Imagine the loss of the fortune. That thought that had me scorching. I thought of my mama going 9 to 5 because of an unready boyfriend. These niggas be talking about stepping, that's something I just don't recall. Just like the thought of in horse skin. I woke up and felt like I didn't want to share, and I'm taking back all of the portions. I wish I had time I had on you niggas, cause we would've brought back extortions. I know what they think about the nails, the mother these niggas is constantly forcing. Niggas is overly gangster, reflecting the image they don't even know, and these niggas do not know the answer. Us.
Solid to the bone, concrete structure, they know what we on. You going back and forth with these niggas, dog, they vehicle is they only home. I keep all blues like a jazz player, call me Karl Malone. He ain't get a paper up yet, it's cool. He got late fees. Who the fuck gave me these $20 bills? Dog, I hate these. Cycling foreign whips on expensive trips like an 8-speed. Ain't studying none of these broke hoes, blackout curtains on my windows. Sip, sip, quarter piece of benzo, H. Lorenzo. Chauffeur around in caddies, dog, I got this from my 10 toes. Smashed on Fat Tuesday and left it in the NO. Grew up with a goons prayer, knowing how the shit go. Real lakeside, baby, I do it for my kinfolk.
Tell me what's the word, you must not heard. I'm storming by the man, I promise that we tied in. When shit get tough, I know the creek gon' hold me over. Every day I'm getting closer to my dreams. They running schemes, but won't trick me about my spot. I earn my rank, she throwing twat. In exchange for funds and fame, your favorite rapper, real life lame. The true first charge it to the game. I'm not impressed, we're not the same. How you flexing, but living check to check, you better come correct. They know it's us in full effect. Any disrespect, my stepper right direct. Cleats on concrete Nikes, I don't care if you don't really like me. I know banks don't right beside me, they say it's love, but I feel despised. I see the pain, I can read the lies, all between the lines, man, free the guys. I repeat the ones who ain't crossed that line to the other side, I'm in prime time. My life in the sunshine, first you get that money, then that power, the world is all mine. Yeah, nigga, it's us.
Nigga that I trust to knock off the dust. Walker that sack under my arm, cause stacking up a must. I crushed the perk into the touch, too beat up the fuzz. Move like a boss, I'm not like them, they doing such and such. I was selling lemonade while y'all would double dutch. I used to scam, I used to trap, I never cuddled much. I to the AM, stretch my plans, I never settle much. on pimping once. You asked for hoes, I brought them round and you ain't flipping once. Got all them guns put in your name and you ain't gripping once. He sent the money for some pints, but I ain't shipped not one. It's caribou, I'm not the two, you gotta know I'm up. I heard you been say you the one, I guess it never stuck. I'm too stuck up, just like in tennis, so let me get the signal. Up late like I'm Jay Leno, I move around with third-strike criminals. You get the memo, it's us.
It's us. Go. Her and her friends want liquor. I left and came back and forth. Rhymes like Reddit. Check up on all my exes. Big body up in Texas. All white body, but it's not a Lexus. My cup look a little reddish. Purple inside a yellow Fanta. Now it's like Cameron Reddish. She told me she's not that flexible. Neither's my schedule. We still gon' check it. I treat the money like messages. Keeping it blue like I still ain't read it. Crosses on my glasses, fuck all the ops, we fastest, make them past tense. Bitches treat me just like Fat Farm, my name on all they asses. Nigga flex his chains, I held my hands up and made invisible glasses. I still couldn't see it. Treat a broke nigga like we playing freeze tag, cause I just couldn't be it. Treat a pussy like a janky friend who broke something, fuck it up and leave it. She wanna be 31, gotta stamp it up in ink. She like 42, I'm just like you, without the drink. Concrete diamonds, lay our chains on the ground and make a skating ring. My mans will slap a nigga at the war show like I'm Jada Pink. Okay, and US in my bio like I love my country. First I'm loading up right now, bitch, I can feel it coming. First thing.
Am I live? I'm live, goddamn. I'm black, baby. I'm black. Let me check my chat. Make sure everybody in the motherfucking hot. Looks like we on, baby. Yeah. Make sure everybody in the motherfucking. Alright, we on. See some motherfuckers start popping up in my chat. You know we move in the groove. I wait on you. I know y'all gonna be there. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna just sit back and chill. Tie my shit up. I let y'all come on in, y'all. Let y'all come on in. In the meantime, woo! Don't look too long. You know, I don't want y'all motherfuckers to become dizzy and fucking fall out there, bust your motherfucking head on something, nigga. Yeah, baby. We doing it big tonight, baby. I want all my family to come in. Y'all know how we do. Come on in, children. Come to the light. Come to the light. Turn your ass on in. You been sitting out there in dark. See a king drink out of this. This my little cup. You see what I'm saying? See how I grab that motherfucker? I grab that motherfucker like one of them little baby McDonald's cups. Where you at? Come on in. What we looking like? Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Hey, you can't be a gorilla unless you beat on your chest. Okay? Okay? I don't motherfucking apologize for that. You can't be a motherfucking gorilla unless you beat on your chest. So tonight, I beats my motherfucking chest. All right.
Yo, what's cracking, everybody, how everybody doing? Everybody not a but you know what? In a minute, everybody will be here. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to everybody, see how everybody's doing this evening. Kind of like, you know, this talking about this is somewhat therapeutic for me. Before I get started, I want to say shout out for everybody that is tuning in right now, and shout out to all of you. Hope you guys are having a good evening, rather. Usually I say a good morning, and that almost came out. So give a shout out to the Free Thinkers podcast. Shout out to Lunga Kalyango and Kwame Ma'at. Rod and Jame mentioned yes, he's already started, and he's saying, giving his opinion. Sex trafficking, transportation, prostitution, Puerto Rico is crazy, essentially, if you call an Uber. No, it's not, and you're going to learn what the RICO law is and what RICO consists of, because this is why I'm going to address this topic today, because once again, I see these type of comments on YouTube and people giving their opinion about this case, and they really don't understand what's going on. So I'm going to do my best to try to one, source my material, to show everybody what has been going on. So without further ado, I want to continue giving out my shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my man Squab, and as everybody else comes in the room, I want to say good evening once again to you and yours. We are in the building, family. You know, this Puff Daddy case is the reason why it's so endearing to me is essentially because I grew up watching Puff Daddy, right? There's this one video I want to show you all real quick, and this video would always inspire me, and I want to show everyone this video. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this video before, and I want to share this video with you all. Before we get started, let me bring this music down, because this video always inspired me. Every time I saw this video, it would inspire me.
You think I could book that for like the weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out? If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. I love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Damn it, I'm a
savage. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
What's next?
Yes.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not
I
gonna
gotta
stay
get
fucking
it.
down.
I'm not gonna stay
I'm
down.
not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do it, man.
I can't do
I
that.
can't do that. What's next? Give me something else. What can't you do? I can do it. I can do anything.
Now, you know, the can't stop, won't stop motto this video has existed in my mind for the better part of what, 9-10 years. Can't stop, won't stop. Whatever you can't do, give it to me. I can do it. This is Puff Daddy. This was his motto. Can't stop, won't stop. We all knew the bad boy motto. This is Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy, producer extraordinaire, entertainer extraordinaire, entrepreneur extraordinaire. Hell, he even did a movie one time, right? He's even directed some movies, executive produced some movies, has his own brand of liquor, right? Had his own streaming service. Can't stop, won't stop. But for the last, we're going to say 2.5 years, he's been marred in controversy, which we now find out is true about Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. You know, and to me, it all started after the Biggie, Notorious Big's death. We all know that Puff Daddy, he got somewhat bigger after Notorious Big's death. And, you know, we know there are Hollywood rumors about sacrificing, and star players get sacrificed, not as much as the private ball club organizations, but we're talking about in the music business, and you become bigger. You put somebody out there to be injured or killed, and you become bigger. And, you know, those are the secret rumors about Hollywood's inner workings, right? We see all that. Can't stop, won't stop. And we know Puff Daddy, he got bigger after Big's death. You know, the No Way Out album, it blew up. It sent him into the stratosphere. You know, everybody knows about Puff Daddy in that album, right? It had the Missing You song on there. It introduced a slew of new artists like The Lox, Black Rob, peace be upon him. It introduced, who else did it introduce? Jadakiss. Once again, The Lox, Mace was on that album. Album had a lot of hits on there. And we know Puffy went into the stratosphere. You know, had his own show, Making the Band, on MTV. Y'all remember that? I want you guys to think about all the things we grew up watching this man do, right? We always saw him as somewhat of a positive figure, right? Somebody you can look at and say, yo, he's getting it done, right? He started off as a party promoter. He became an intern over there at Uptown Records, produced some great records, worked with acts such as Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Grand Nubian. I mean, you name it, the list goes on and on. It's almost like whatever Puff touched, it went gold. Or in this case, platinum. Everything Puffy put his hands on just blew up, right? It made everybody want to do their own music label. It made everybody want to copy Big's rhyme style. We know the Death Row, what happened over there at Death Row, but like I said, now he's marred in a lot of controversy. Puffy has been brought up on RICO charges, which is racketeering influencing a criminal organization. And, you know, we're going to read this. This is Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. We want to read his racketeering and criminal organization. And this is at the United States Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York. This is very important that we read it so we can get an understanding, because over here I teach. Don't get mad, get smart, right? Now, why am I doing this? Because there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of bad arguments going on online. And if you are here hearing this, you're gonna get the right information. So next time you open your mouth, open your big rabbit ass mouth to have a conversation about this, you're gonna be armed correctly. Now, this is the federal indictment from Southern New York, from the attorney's office there, and we're gonna read a couple of things here. We're gonna have some fun doing this because I'm gonna present a couple of videos. Of course, I want everybody to tune in. I know it's Monday and everybody watching Monday Night Football, but I don't press the live button to see how many viewers I can get watching me, right? I don't do that. So once again, let's get this going here so you guys can understand that this is from the United States Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York. Now it says Sean Combs has been charged in Manhattan federal court with sex trafficking and other federal offenses. This is where the racketeering comes in at. All right. Now, the alleged conduct occurred over more than a decade in multiple states. This is the racketeering aspect of it. All right. And it says Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and William S. Walker, the acting special agent in charge of the New York Field Office of Homeland Security Investigations, announced that Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, was arrested last night and charged in a 3-count indictment: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The indictment, unsealed today, alleges that between 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others, and led a racketeering conspiracy that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, among other crimes. Combs is expected to be presented in Manhattan federal court this afternoon before the magistrate Judge Robin F. Excuse me, I can't say his last name. Forgive me, Your Honor, I can't say your last name. Tarnowski. I think that's Tarnowski. Okay, Tarnowski. All right, got a Polish brother over there in the judge. And it says, U.S. Attorney's Office, Damian Williams said, as alleged in the indictment, for years, Sean Combs used the business empire he controlled to sexually abuse and exploit women, as well as to commit other acts of violence and obstruction of justice. Today, he is charged with racketeering and sex trafficking offenses. And I think with all, like, the lead singer to Danity Kane, she has said things about him and this sex trafficking and his sexual assault and the way he treats women. She was one of the first to come forth with the way that he treats his employees, the way that he makes threats to them, and that he was a dangerous person. She was one of the first people to start speaking out against this man. Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. It was her, the lead singer of Danity Kane. If anybody has her name, can we place it in the chat? The lead singer of Danity Kane. I'm trying to think of her name. It was Aubrey O'Day. That's her name. Aubrey O'Day had came forth, and she had always been speaking against Sean Puffy Combs, and she recently said that she feels validated. She feels some sort of validation for his arrest because she understood firsthand what had been going on there. You had the Kid Cudi incident in which a car was blown up because he began to show interest in Cassie. We all know who Kid Cudi is, right? Kid Cudi, producer extraordinaire, right? And you have Puffy using his label, which was Bad Boy Entertainment, to influence others to commit acts of how can we say it? Criminal acts against employees and people who wanted to associate themselves with Sean Puffy Combs and people who wanted to disassociate themselves with him. Now, as we continue to read this indictment, the indictment papers are going to prove what he did because, once again, as we know, the feds have a 97% accuracy rate when they prosecute you. 97% means they ain't losing. When they present these indictment papers in front of you, they already know you've done it. We're going to read a little bit here, but I want to continue on. And it says, HSI, that's home security investigator, acting special agent in charge, Charles William S. Walker, said, quote, "Today we shatter any false notion of impunity as we uncover the defendant's alleged pattern of manipulation, exploitation, and outright abuse. Make no mistake, we are here today only because of the unwavering strength of victims and witnesses who have already endured unspeakable hardships. I commend them for their courage and urge anyone who believes they are a victim of sex trafficking to contact the Home Security Investigation by email at sextraffickingoutreach@hsi.dhs.gov or via our mobile tip line at 1-877-4-HSI-TIP. Want to read a little bit of it more? And it says, from at least 2008 through the present, Combs led a criminal enterprise that existed to facilitate his abuse and exploitation of women, to protect his reputation, and to conceal his conduct. As part of that criminal enterprise, Combs, along with other members and associates of the enterprise, committed crimes including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Among other things, Combs' sexual abuse of women included causing them to engage in frequent days-long sexual activity with male commercial sex workers, some of whom were transported over state lines. Just because you don't understand the law, for anybody who speaks against this, does not mean you can minimize it. Just because you have an opinion and you do not understand laws in certain states does not mean you can minimize what he's done. If you don't understand, go get you some understanding. These events, which Combs referred to as freak-offs, were elaborate sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, and often electronically recorded. What is it with these millionaire singers and entertainers that want to record it? Sounds like self-snitching to me. Why are you indicting yourself? As we all know, the Homeland Security raided his home. The feds raided his home a couple of 2 months ago, and in it they seized hard drives, they seized cameras, they seized a couple of AR-15s, which is an assault rifle with defaced numbers. They seized drugs that were there. We're going to get into all of that in the indictment papers today, family. They seized all of this from Combs, right? And you understand when all of this is going on, and it's going on within your label, in which you've made promises to certain individuals in, and then you're threatening them because you're Sean or Puff Daddy, the head of Bad Boy. Guess what? That's a criminal organization now. Because now your label is participating in criminal activity. Because you're using your celebrity to take advantage of people. And when you're sending prostitutes and sex workers across state lines to facilitate prostitution, you're breaking the law. Whether you like it or not does not give you the right to minimize that. I mean, they even said that he had IVs, family. IVs. Witnesses are saying, or victims of this are saying, we had IVs put on this so we can keep going. Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Now this is taking a totally different meaning. And a lot of times when you get these criminals out here, or a predator such as Mr. Combs has come out to be, they've been projecting the whole time. They've been projecting with their statements. We all know the numbers that R. Kelly wore on his vest. That was the address to where he was sexually assaulted at. No one knew that until we saw the R. Kelly documentary on how he was exploiting women, how he slept with minors, how he gave minors herpes, etc. What is it with these millionaires that they just have to do? They just have to do this. Puffy's going away for a long time. For a very, very long time. You could thank Aubrey O'Day. You could thank Cassie. You could thank Kid Cudi. You could thank everyone who decided to stand against him. And trust me, there are more charges coming. There are more charges that are going to be coming forth, as we just read. If you have been a victim to any of this, come forth. So see, prostitution in an Uber, brother, it's not, you can't minimize that. You just can't. And we shouldn't speak through ignorance. We should speak through knowledge over here. Because Puff Daddy was somebody I looked up to. You know, I'm hearing people say things like, oh, you can't, oh, everybody want to see another black man destroyed, and everybody, that's all y'all niggas thinking about. No. How about the fact of that he was a black man that we looked up to, that let us down by lying to us? What about that part? Trust me, no one wants to see a black entrepreneur go down. But see, once again, once them feds come in front of you and they throw their papers down in front of you, they're saying, this is what we got on you. This is what you're guilty of. You can't fight that. Now, I'm pretty sure during the litigation and all this other stuff, they're going to say what evidence they want presented, because the evidence that's presented is going to be more equitable than some of the more minor evidences that they probably have. They're going to go with the things they know he's guilty of. The hearsay will just help enhance the major evidence that they have against him. Let's continue so we can continue to build this argument on Puff Daddy, or read what they have on him already. Is everybody following this? This is not hard to follow. Shout out to all 36 people watching. Kwame Ma'at and Nyame Mentu Hotep says nothing. His indictment says anything about children or molest. These are grown women indulging in prostitution. Well, guess what? They can come forth and say, yep, we all sat up here and we agreed to do this. We were all compliant in doing this. But what about the victims? You see how you're minimizing it, Kwame? You see how you keep minimizing it? That's a problem. That is a problem right there. You have victims of this who have come forth, and we don't know if it's Cassie. We don't know if it's Aubrey. We don't know if it's the gentleman that was the producer. We don't know who these people are. I'm just assuming it's them. It could be others. See, they decided to implicate Puffy and Rico because guess what? You're the head of this organization. You're the one who was arranging it. But let's see what else they got on them, because it just ain't the prostitution. It's also the illegal drugs. Right? So we gotta use some transparency here, Kwame. I too was hurt by this. Puffy was somebody I looked up to. But wrong is wrong. And this is not me attacking you. I don't want you to think that. But Puffy was a hero to some. Someone to look up to. Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I mean, bro, you got thousands of bottles of lube. You guilty right there, because all of this is lining up with what everyone's been saying about you. Let's continue. So it said Combs arranged, directed, and often electronically recorded these events to ensure participation in freak-offs. Combs used violence and intimidation and leveraged his power over victims. Power he obtained through obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, exploiting his financial support to them, and threatening to cut off the same, and controlling their careers. This is what Aubrey O'Day had been saying. Combs also threatened his victims, including by threatening to expose the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of freak-offs if the women did not comply with his demands. Revenge porn. This is what they have on him. When they unseal the indictment paper so you guys can get an understanding of it, they're saying, okay, release it to the public. This is what he's in trouble for doing. This is the hardcore evidence we have on him. This is what we're going to present in court. This is what he's going to have to get himself out of. Not to say that there won't be other charges used that might be presented in this case. This is a big fish. This $500 million Puff Daddy. Combs' effort to control women included repeated physical abuse. Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. Combs similarly assaulted witnesses to his abuse. These assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims which took days or weeks to heal. To commit these crimes, Combs relied on his power as the leader of the multifaceted business empire. Employees of Combs' businesses, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, and personal assistants and household staff, acted as Combs' intermediaries. 2, among other things, arranged travel and hotel rooms, stocked the hotel rooms for Combs' commercial sex activity, contact or locate women and other individuals whom he targeted for abuse, and conceal and cover up the abuse. See, many people don't know that after the Cassie incident in which he dragged her through that hotel lobby, they had the video, and all of a sudden the video disappeared from their data frame or their database, from their server, excuse me. And they have recordings of him calling the people trying to offer money. And the head of the security at that Los Angeles hotel said he didn't want to do that. But later on, the video disappeared off the server. So a lot of these people were already wired against him. These people are now coming forth, and they're all going to be saying what he did. This criminal concealment included efforts to prevent law enforcement from learning about his abuse. Once again, if you are a victim of a crime perpetuated by Sean Combs, please contact the Homeland Security investigators at sex trafficking outreach at hsi.dhs.gov or via their mobile tip line at 1-877-4-HSI-TIP and reference this case. Let's keep going. Combs, 54, of Miami, Florida, is charged with 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, 1 count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison and a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison, and 1 count of transportation for purposes of prostitution, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. The statutory maximum and mandatory penalties are prescribed by Congress and are provided here for informational purposes only, as any sentencing of the defendant will be determined by the judge. Mr. William praised the outstanding investigative work of the HSI, and which is the Homeland Security Investigative Task Force, and the Southern District of New York Special Agents, Digital Forensic Unit, and the Complex Analytical and Social Media Enhancement Team at the New York/New Jersey High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. This case is being handled by the Office Civil Rights Unit in the Criminal Division. Assistant U.S. Attorney Meredith Foster, Emily A. Johnson, Christy Slavic, Madison Reddick Smizer, and Mitzi Steiner. Got a Jew in there. The charges contained in the indictment are merely accusations. The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they're always going to say. But once the feds got you, they got you. This ain't the police. This ain't the police knocking on your door. This ain't none of that. This is none of that. This is the feds. And I keep telling people the feds play for keeps. I want to pull this real quick. Let me get this up. Let's go here. We're going to go to the attachment, which is the sealed indictment, which has been unsealed. And before we get started here, I want to let everybody hear what his attorney had to say. All right, this is under fair use. Fair use. This is only intended for news and informal purposes. Excuse me, information purposes. So with that being said, I want to put my fair use banner up. Copyright disclaimer up there, and this is only for news and in informational purposes. I want to show everybody what what his lawyer had to say.
The first step so this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent.
Okay, so this is Mark Aganifilo. He's a defense attorney for Sean Diddy Combs, and he used to be a prosecutor. Now he's a defense attorney. Interesting, the little bit of investigative work I've done on him. Don't know much about him, but he's just saying what he's supposed to say. He's supposed to come out and say that his client is innocent. But when you're talking about the FBI with a 97% prosecution rate, it's going to be a hard hill to climb on that, because a lot of those charges are going to stick based with the raw evidence that they have with him. And remember, we don't know who's going to come forth. There might be more people to come forth. And he's not a small fish. He's saying he's here to fight these to the end. Mr. Can't stop, won't stop. Exactly. We know he's going to fight it to the end. But you know one thing I know about these lawyers? They're going to suck him and sap him, pause, no Diddy, of every penny that he has.
He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case with everything we have, as is he.
Yeah, they're going to fight it with everything they have. And like I said, one thing about these big time attorneys is he's probably paid him $25 million. He's going to go in front of the judge, or he's going to sit there in front of Puffy and say, hey, I think you can beat this thing here. He's going to say this because he wants to represent Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs has the finances to do it, right? And guess what? He's going to suck him dry of every penny that he has. He knows he has no chance here, but Puffy trusts him, and he thinks he's going to be the one to get him off, because when your freedom is on the line, like Snoop Dogg said some 20 years ago, there are no hills that you won't climb so you don't get thrown behind that cell. Snoop said he feared for his life when that judge was getting ready to throw him in jail over a murder he didn't commit.
And eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore. I don't know. The question is, why did it happen last night instead of today? I don't know the answer to that question. I just want to make one point very clear. We have no power. All we can do is show good faith. He got on a plane and he came here. And if he stayed here for one day before the case started, or for 1 year before the case started, he was going to stay as long as he needed to stay. It ends up being only 12 days. That's fine. That's what the government wanted to do. The government didn't want him to turn himself in. He came here to turn himself in. Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they are.
See, this is wrong. He's not supposed to be saying any of this. He's simply supposed to be saying, my client will fight these charges. My client has said that he is innocent of all charges, and I'm here to represent my client. He's here doing all this grandstanding right now, and it's not a good idea. You're going against the federal. This is a federal case. So this ain't no small time case where you think Puffy finna walk out of jail. Just recently, he was denied bail, and he went in front of a magistrate. Now, everybody knows that the magistrate is like the secretary judge to the circuit judge. After you go to now, they even took it to the circuit judge recently, and the circuit judge said, "No, you're a threat." We're gonna find out why.
Arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in. But we're going to make all these points again tomorrow, and we'll make it as much as we can until we get him out. So that's all I have. Huh? Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Wait, what was the question? We're appealing it. We're no bail. He's detained.
We're appealing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're appealing the decision to hold him without bail.
Whoops. Top flight. I guess he just dropped the ball there. He needed his secretary or his assistant right there to remind him, hey, we're appealing it. Oh, yeah, we're appealing it. Puffy probably like, what is he talking about? What is he doing? Yes, but they have already deemed him dangerous. We're going to find out why.
Bail. Tomorrow at 3:30. 3:30, same place. Bail appeal. Bail appeal tomorrow, 3:30, same courtroom, different judge. He's doing fine. He's a fighter, and he's going to fight this. All right, I'm going to go. Thank you.
All right. So we see his attorney fighting for him as he should. His attorney is speaking out for his client as he should. And he's doing what he's supposed to do here. But I want to go into this indictment here. Kwame Ma'at, he's in there saying he doesn't even believe in any indictments. That's too bad because it exists right here on paper, and the pen is mightier than the sword in this country. And I want to go down here. I want to read this. This is part of the indictment here. This is before a grand jury judge. The grand jury charges Mr. Sean Combs with count one of racketeering conspiracy. I've read all of these charges to you, right? I don't need to read any of this again, right? But one of the things I do want to show, here it is right here. Yeah, here it is right here. Count 4 was physical abuse by Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or PD, aka Love. The defendant was recurrent and widely known on numerous occasions from at least in or about 2009 and continuing for years. Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, and throwing objects and kicking them. These assaults were at times witnessed by others and included one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in or about March 2016 or 2016. Was that Cassie? I don't know. We know that there was an incident at a Los Angeles hotel that we saw him drag and he punched and he kicked. I'm sorry, he didn't punch. He kicked her and he was in a towel and she was trying to escape from one of those freak-offs here. And there's enough evidence to prove that, because one of the things the court has done is secure the hotel ledger of all the people that were there. And I want to let you all know this. Anybody who is in Sean Combs, one of the things that you have to understand is when you're under investigation and you've been charged with racketeering, influencing a criminal organization, what ends up happening is they're going to grant immunity to anybody who worked for him. They're going to grant immunity because they want to make sure he goes down. They're going to grant immunity to, and they probably already have. They just want them to talk, and we're going to grant you immunity because he was the one who who started all of this. He was the one that conspired all of this under his watch. You guys know the saying, with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility. You all know this. See, they know who they have. They want him. He the big dog. They don't care about no TD Jakes. And I'm pretty sure he want to go in there and talk and bring everybody down with him. But they got the dog they want. They got the alpha male they want. They don't care nothing about all that. Okay, yeah, so what? But see, one of the things Cat Williams said was all lies will be exposed. And if you was in there with something in your mouth or some man on your backside, it's about to get exposed. He knew. He called it. Diddy like to party. He has preyed on women, preyed on men. He has even, and these crimes that were committed were at his home. So you can't sit up there and release him on bail. He's a threat. That's key. In a situation like this, there's nothing you can do. They're not going to release. What are they going to do? Release you to your home? Your Miami home? Your New York home? You committed crimes in those homes. They're like, nah, well, I'll be under video surveillance. Nah, because you were under federal surveillance the whole time. And after the Cassie incident, which you knew you were being investigated, guess what, family? He still was doing these freak offs. Yeah. See, a predator doesn't believe he'll ever get caught. Predators don't believe in that. Predators don't believe they're going to get caught. Predators like to prey until it's too late. Then they start asking, hey, can you let me go? These assaults were at times witnessed by others and included one instance at a Los Angeles hotel in about March 2016. Which was captured on video and later publicly reported, where Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase as a woman who was attempting to leave. When a member of the hotel security intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. Right there. You think he's not going to step forth and say what happened? It's right there. This is what they got on him. Good luck in fighting that, because the video shows that. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. Number 5. Sean Combs. The defendant used the Combs business, including certain employees, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial sex. Those employees, including security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and high-ranking supervisors and other close associates, acted as Combs' intermediaries, and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control of the Combs business. I read that. Let's go down here to number 7. The Combs enterprise, including his leadership, its members, and its associates, constituted an enterprise as defined by Title 18, United States Code, Section 1961. That is a group of individuals associated, in fact, although not a legal entity. The Combs enterprise consisted of Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, PD, or Love, the defendant, entities within the Combs business, including but not limited to Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs Enterprises, and Combs Global, individuals employed by and associated with Combs business, and others known and unknown. 8. The Combs enterprise constituted an ongoing organization whose members function as a continuing unit for a common purpose of achieving the objectives of the Combs enterprise. The Combs enterprise was engaged in, and its activities affected interstate and foreign commerce. The Combs enterprise operated in Southern District of New York and elsewhere. all times to this indictment. Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, PD, aka Love, the defendant, was the leader of the Combs enterprise. Just because you don't know the law, brother, don't mean that you can say or minimize the events that took place while he was breaking these laws. This ain't got nothing to do with no Israelite nonsense, has nothing to do with no moronish nonsense or no abo nonsense. This is the law. This is remarkable that he just felt like he was above the law. R. Kelly felt like he was above the law. Suge Knight felt like he was above the law. See, Kwame Ma'ara, however you pronounce your name right now, because it's such a long name, I'm just going to call you Kwame. How many times have we read these charges to you? You can minimize them all you want, because see, his lawyer is going to milk him for every dollar that he has, and they're going to throw his ass right on in jail. Let's take a look here. All right, because we want to see, because now P. Diddy's son faces sex crimes of his own. They're saying that he has a lot to do with this.
Combs isn't the only one in the family facing some serious accusations, and while the rapper has been criminally charged and arrested, his sons have been named in recent lawsuits. But could those allegations lead to more charges for the Combs family? We're taking a closer look with criminal defense attorney Natalie Whittingham-Burrell. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Well, it's not really surprising that a lot of people have been speaking out since the arrest and indictment of Sean Diddy Combs on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. But now that includes the woman behind a lawsuit against his son, Christian Combs. So Sean Combs was indicted in federal court last week. He's going to be going up against the formidable prosecutors of the Southern District of New York. And until then, he's locked up at what's called the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. And this is a jail which has housed other celebrity inmates at times. It's been plagued with issues like unsanitary conditions, fights between inmates. There's a status conference for his case scheduled for October 10th. But as Combs now faces these criminal charges, there is a separate legal team that is dealing with the multiple civil lawsuits that are pending against him. And one of those complaints was filed by a woman named Grace O'Markey. So O'Markey was apparently a steward working aboard a yacht that was rented by Sean Combs in December of 2022 for a holiday celebration with his family, when she claims she was sexually assaulted by Christian Combs. And within weeks of Sean Combs' homes being raided back in March by federal agents, O'Markey filed a civil complaint against Christian and named his father, Sean Combs, in the suit as well for allegedly facilitating this assault to occur. Now, through her attorney, O'Markey put out a statement after Sean Combs was arrested saying, quote, "The long-awaited federal arrest of Sean Combs is the first step for our clients receiving justice. We leave the criminal aspect of this case in the hands of the people and justice system. As for the civil cases, we await our time for the facts to reveal themselves and seek the justice our clients deserve." It goes on to say, "We also anticipate more victims coming forward. We knew this was coming. The evidence is very clear, and it was only a matter of time. This is an important step towards justice for all of Mr. Combs' victims, including my clients. Justice will prevail." Hey, by the way, we really appreciate you guys coming to us for our Sean Combs coverage. We plan to continue to bring you updates on this story. And look, the reason we're able to do this is because not only of the support that we get from you guys, but also from our sponsors. And if I can, I want to call out one right now, Upside. So this is so cool. Upside is a free app that helps you get cash back. Use Upside at all different on the criminal charges that this civil case. And what impact could it have, if any, on the criminal charges that Sean Combs now faces? Well, to discuss that, I want to bring in criminal defense attorney Natalie Whittingham-Burrell to talk more about this. Natalie, thank you so much for coming here on Sidebar. Appreciate it.
Hi, Jesse. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So first, let me start from a basic point of law. how much do civil cases that might be alleging similar conduct as criminal charges, how much does a result in a civil case affect a criminal case?
Not at all. So it doesn't affect the criminal case. The jury in a criminal case is supposed to remain fair and unbiased and only consider the facts that they're hearing in the courtroom. As far as the judge is concerned, if the judge is going to be imposing a sentence because the jury found the person guilty, the judge should be considering what happened in the courtroom. And usually they don't take into consideration civil liability. I've heard many judges say, I know that there's a concurrent case in the civil courts. We're going to let that play out. This is separate and apart from that. And the reason being is that it's a different burden of proof, beyond a reasonable doubt versus preponderance of the evidence. And so for that reason, you can't really let what happens in the civil context infiltrate the criminal context, because the trier of fact is determining something different.
Before I make these connections, because there could be overlap here, there is the possibility that, and I'll get to this in a second, whether or not Grace O'Markey may be cooperating with federal investigators, whether any piece of that evidence could come into the federal case. We'll get to that in a second. But what did you make of the statement from Grace O'Markey's legal team after Sean Combs was arrested?
I see. So what they're saying basically is that this is opening up a it's kind of opening up for more victims to come forward. And I think that's really what it's all about as far as the civil case is concerned. So more people might feel emboldened, like, look, there is a criminal case here. This means that what happened to me is valid and I am free to speak out about it, right? They'd always been waiting for it. I guess, you know, if the feds had investigated and nothing had come of it, people might have felt less inclined to come forward. So as far as emboldening potential victims, yes, the criminal case would impact the psyche of a person who's potentially a victim of Sean Combs. Yes.
Let me ask you.
Now, as you guys see this video going on, I want to read the definition, because Kwame, and you know, many times I go back and forth with people in my audience, and he says, I'm not minimizing anything, but to call Puffy a predator is initiating he molested children or groped, women. That's interesting. Let's look up the definition of predator. All right. So you can get smart here. All right. Let me get this up. Let's go to predator definition. All right. And here is the definition of predator: an animal that naturally preys on others. A person who ruthlessly exploits others. Such an example is a sexual predator. And as we can see, Puffy was constantly, as due to the federal investigation in the sealed, which is now unsealed documents, they're saying they have enough evidence on him to show that he has ruthlessly exploited people. And this is why he's in trouble. If he didn't exploit anyone, he would not be in trouble. You see? So he's a predator. What you just gave us here was a slippery slope by saying just because someone's a predator, that automatically assumes that he has molested children, etc. Nice try. That won't work. All right. And there are no orgy charges either. So don't be dumb. Be smart. This is the law we're dealing with, and the law is very blind. Let me put the link in the chat, because I think sometimes people want something to say, and I want to put that out here, and I want to keep this going on. He said, I will not be, what you say, I will not be participating in this lynching, LOL. I'm not out that mob. Don't know what that means, but unfortunately, we're not lynching Puffy. We're sitting up there exposing what he's been doing for years. So there's no need to turn your back against someone who has been ruthlessly exploiting people. You shouldn't do that, Top Flight. You know better than that. But then again, you are FBA, right? Wink, wink. Let's finish this up.
Ask you this: the statement where they're saying, you know, this isn't a surprise, we expected this to happen. Now, that could be because we were all seeing what was happening play out. We knew that there were raids. There was reports about a grand jury being impaneled. There was reports that Sean Combs was the target of an investigation. Do you think that we're not surprised because we saw everything everybody else said? Or do you think we're not surprised because great?
Let's get my man Top Flight up in here. Let's bring Top Flight on in. Let's bring him on in. Let's welcome him to the stage. What up, Top Flight? What you got for me, cuz?
What's up? What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on with you, man? Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. I mean, you're making a lot of good points. It's looking bad for Puff. In my stance on the whole situation, and this is just my conjecture, because at the end of the day, nobody knows what went on in them parties or in that house, but the law, maybe, possibly, and the people that were in attendance. So, none of us can sit here and act like we know for sure. It sounds like you already convicted them. You know what I'm saying? And which nobody can do. The courts haven't even convicted them yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say this, speaking from my experience. I am in the entertainment industry, and I know that world, and I know those people, and I know those women, and I've seen and I've been approached, and I know how they get down. And this case, it seems to be a lot of it's surrounding Cassie. A lot of this case is surrounding Cassie. But as far as this whole narrative that this dude was just locking people in his house with baby oil and making them party and all this good. Let me tell you something. About 10, 15 years ago, I first heard about Puffy's parties from a mainstream media source, and they used to praise Puffy's parties. They used to tell us how immaculate his parties were.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they were.
And
they were.
All the way up until last year. All the way up until last year, they used to praise his party. So the thing is, again, I've been around. I've been on Star Island. I know what these women are like. I know what goes on, and people show up to participate, to party. People show up to they know what this is about. They know what Puff is about. I'm not saying he's innocent by any means. I'm sure he has been a nasty individual. I'm sure that man has done a lot of bad things, right? My whole problem is this big we've seen this before. We've seen it with Michael Jackson. We've seen it with R. Kelly. We've seen it with Bill Cosby, and the list goes on.
I've never seen Rico with R. Kelly, and I definitely did not. Yeah,
R. Kelly got the same charges. The Mann Act. He's charged.
But he did not get Rico.
He has the Mann Act. It's the same charge.
He did not get Rico, brother. It's two different things.
Him and Puffy are charged with the same charge, the Mann Act.
Okay, the Mann Act. What I'm telling you, the Mann Act and Rico are not the same thing.
Okay, no problem. But Puffy's getting charged with the Mann Act, sex trafficking across state lines. This is the Jack Johnson. This is what Jack Johnson.
Okay, you're talking about that right there. Okay.
The Mann Act.
I know, yeah, but Rico. When you said you seen the same thing, you didn't quantify it until right now. I see what you're saying. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I find it very suspect. I find it very I find it crazy that this is the same exact situation. And in 2024, see, I'm 43, right? So back in the day, what you would call just regular party behavior, right, is now called sexual assault. And let me say this: when I was at a party, if I was at a party 10, 15 years ago, and me and a girl was catching eyes, and I smacked her on her ass as she walked by, that was normal. That was regular shit. I don't know about nobody else, but that's where I come from. And today, that's sexual assault. That is charges. That is a major thing. So same thing with Bill Cosby. It was the norm to take these drugs. It was the norm to go back up to his hotel room and take some Quaaludes and things of that nature. So I find it real odd that all these years later.
But one of the things that you're forgetting to mention is, what about the intentions behind him loading a woman's drink with a drug to take advantage of her? That is predatory.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Everybody that I saw, they said that they took the drugs. He put the drugs in their hand, and they took drugs. This is what the women have said for themselves. This is what they've said. And Bill Cosby wasn't even supposed to be locked up. That's why they let him out. They had to let Bill go because they let him out. So, but the point is, without getting too deep into all these cases, I mean, think about this. Think about how many of our greats. Think about how many of our icons that are in federal prison or their reputation has been tarnished. Let me say this, and this is just the gist of what I'm saying. I'm not shooting Puffy bail from his wrongdoings. We saw Hugh Hefner do this. If you look at the adult film industry, this is a everyday practice. I want to see everybody get locked up. You will never catch me out here cheerleading for these fucking feds, right? As they lock up our icons. I'm just not going to do it. I want to see. I want to see more. I want to see more Rico.
Let me ask you this: what about when our icons let us down, and what about when they let our children down? Right? Come on, let's be honest. We saw Mike Tyson fall.
But the thing is,
hold on, let me finish. We saw Mike Tyson take a fall. I remember being young looking at that. I was in the 3rd grade when he took that fall, and I couldn't believe it. You know, it's a letdown. You're seeing a hero of yours fall down. We should not be participating in the activities of our oppressors, since you want to speak like this. I mean, are we to ignore what he did to Cassie? First, he said he didn't do it. He came forth and he made this huge claim. I never did these things. These are all lies. We all believed him. No, let's just listen for a moment. Now, what do you have to say about him being on camera, karate kicking her, dragging her, and throwing vases at her? These are all, first of all, it's very narcissistic of you or anyone to come on here and say, oh, they're dragging our icons down. No, he made his own decisions. And based on his decisions, running his businesses, he used his business to coerce, to bribe, to exploit people, and they got him on RICO. It's simple, bro.
No doubt. Now,
yeah, no doubt. Go ahead.
As far as the Cassie thing, how I felt about that, I felt like she got $30 million. Okay, so listen, she got 30 M's, so that's what she got, right? Okay. So, and as far as the apology, a lot of people got that misconstrued. Not the apology, but the denial of the acts. A lot of people got that misconstrued. Puffy was talking about the allegations that had just been popping up after that. I don't believe he was talking about Cassie. He was talking about the allegations.
No, sir.
Little Rod.
He did not. Go back to it. I can go pull it. He said he did not commit any sexual. Okay, I have
sexual. Okay. Right. We talking about the beating. We talking about the beating. Right, you talking about the beat?
I did not produce any sexual abuse. I did not beat, and I am fully
pull that up. Pull that one up. Pull that, because he never said beat. He never said beat. But anyway, we don't gotta get caught up on the particulars. You know what I'm saying?
I will.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, because we could just keep it flowing. Look, at the end of the day, Cassie got $30 million. Diddy was humiliated. He's blackballed. He's done. That's good enough for me. Okay. That's that. Look. Now, let me take it a step further. This is the culture that we all have participated in. When Big came, look what Puffy did that night.
No,
not
me. I've never.
No. All of us. Look,
no, it's not all of us.
Listen,
you did.
No.
I did not.
You gotta let me finish. Let me finish. I'm talking about the culture we all participated in. You love gangster rap. When Big said he kicked in the door, waved in the 4-4, you sang those lyrics. You sang those lyrics. Okay. When do you listen to Dr. Dre? You love Dre, don't you?
Yeah.
Dre is guilty of beating women too. The list can go on. Fabulous, Joe Budden. We can go on. So my thing is this. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh my God, she got beat. Number one, yes, it's unfortunate. But number two, and this is just the gist of what I'm saying, I'm going to end it here. Look, of course, Puffy had to do a lot of grimy stuff to make it the way he was. Puffy, look, he saw a lot of success. He's done a lot of things in life, and he had to move in a room full of vultures, right? And he lost his soul along the way. Absolutely. He sold his soul along the way. Absolutely. He felt like he was above the law. There was just a clip circulating where he said he's the freest nigga alive. He thought that he was the freest nigga alive, and he's paying. My problem is everybody should be paying in the same matter. And just the last thing, our community is the only people that's celebrating, that's fucking just so happy and just dog piling.
But let me say this. Let me say this real quick. All right, this is not the time now, because you contradict yourself right there. And our community celebrates it. But then when someone such as myself is showing showing how he has exploited everyone, I get people coming up here telling me how they feel about Puffy and not speaking to the charges. You should be speaking about what he's been charged with, not the fact that I like gangster rap. That's two different things. You understand what I'm saying? I do not participate in any of Puffy's alleged freak offs. I've never participated in that. Here it is right here. This is on Entertainment News. You said that he didn't do that. It's right here. Sean Diddy Combs denies allegations of rape and abuse. Right?
Yeah.
Then after he got caught, when they released the video, he came out and said, "Oh, I was in a dark place, y'all, but I found God." See, that's one of the things these dudes love doing, is running behind God and hiding behind God when they get caught. He said he found God. Well, you gonna have a long time to talk to him while your ass is in jail, because a sexual predator is a sexual predator. That's why I'm speaking on these charges. This is why when the feds have investigated him, they said this is what they have on him. You know, the feds, a 97% conviction rate. Once they get you, they throw it right in front of you. Boom. You the big dog. You the one that started all of this. You the ones that was arranging this and hiring people to arrange these so-called freak-offs, to arrange these so-called sexual abuse, to arrange arson, to arrange threats of violence. This is when you turn your entrepreneurship into a criminal empire. Remember, Suge got caught with the same thing, right? They could never get him on anything because they didn't have anything on him. But guess what? Eventually, he got caught. Same thing for Puffy. When they raided his home, guess what? He had tapes. He had PDF drives, thumb drives. They'll tell you what they got on him.
Right, and at this point, we don't know what's on those tapes. We don't know. Look, just like you saying, it's the lawyer's job to say certain things. It is the Fed's job to say certain things as well. But the only reason I brought up the gangster rap is because none of us are in a moral situation, a moral position to talk so condescending, as if we haven't grown up, as if we still don't indulge, still don't participate, and celebrate and celebrate. Hold on. Look, I'm just saying, it's about the tone. All of us should be like, man, shit, Puff fucked up. That's fucked up. He's in a bad situation. Nobody should be talking like the feds on here and talking like a prosecutor. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't talk like a prosecutor and then go turn on some goddamn Eazy-E. You just can't do it, though. That's just not how the world works. You know what I mean? So my thing is this. Look. Last thing, man. Listen, I understand. Look, cuz fucked up. At the end of the day, man, let the white folks do what they do. You know what I'm saying? We need to hold these people accountable in our way. We don't join these motherfuckers, man. Cause what's gonna happen when they go get Jay-Z? What's gonna happen when they get everybody, dog? I'm not saying you wrong. I'm saying I'm not going to.
Good riddance. Hey, hold on. Listen what I'm saying. Good riddance.
Good riddance for what?
Good riddance. If you've been, hold on. Let me say this real quick. Let me rap for a minute. If you participating in blackmail, and as far as I'm going with Jay-Z, he's a child predator too, because he was 27 years old when Beyonce was 16. And he sat back and he waited on her to become of age. So he was preying on her when she was 16.
Hold on.
Hold on. bro, hold on, dog. 2, you're giving me all these false equivalencies, saying just because I listen to gangster rap, somehow I'm supposed to be in cahoots with Puff Daddy and all the shit that he doing. That don't make sense, bro. If I'm listening, it's like when you say white people, when they go watch the movie Predator, they ain't running around in trees with lasers on their damn shoulder, killing everybody, and then saying, oh, don't watch. No, you can't do that. Everybody knows that's just a form of entertainment. That's all it is. With great power comes great responsibility, beloved. And he had no business, the coercion, him placing phone calls. This. So you were wrong here, but I want to go here to what else the feds got on him, right? This is what else the feds got on him. Let's just read this right quick while you're here, right? They got manipulation, bribery, threats of retaliation against individuals who witnessed the crimes committed by members and associates of his enterprise. But look at the means and methods of the enterprise. This is where it gets disgusting. Watch this. Among the means and methods of which Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, Diddy PD, Love, the defendant, and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise conducted and participated in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise included the following. Remember, family, this is a federal case. 97% conviction rate, right? Watch this. A. Combs and other members and associates of the Combs enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs' role at the Combs businesses to intimidate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to. We don't know if it's Cassie.
No, it's Cassie. I'm telling you, it's Cassie. I'm telling you, it's Cassie.
Listen. My thing is, when it comes to the law, justice is blind. They have not implemented.
It's information out there that is Cassie.
I know, yes, because guess what? She said that, but they've also said other women are involved in this. But you're not allowed to do that when it comes to the law. We could say, yeah, it's Cassie, but according to this, they haven't given you a name here. So,
we already know, though.
Okay, it's her and many others.
No, that's what I see. That's the problem I have. We gotta stop right there. See,
Negro,
we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
The one thing, we ain't gotta stop because the shit say right here, members and associates, plural. Watch what I read to you. And it says, often under the pretense of romantic relationship, Combs then used force. They lured female victims. That's plural.
Oh man, I don't like this. Listen, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick.
Aubrey O'Day.
When I was 20, look.
Ain't no fucking look, my nigga.
Listen. Let me say this. When I was 20 years old, I got charged. Hold on. Let me talk. When I was 20 years old, I got charged by the feds, right? I got charged with intimidating a federal agent, possession of PCP, and a bunch of other charges. Right? I got charged with intimidating a federal agent. Let me tell you, I still don't know to this day how the fuck I intimidated a federal agent. So you caping for these people. You're acting like their word is golden. You gotta stop, bro. Their word, just because they said this shit, does not mean this is their job to put this language into play to where they trump up these charges for an airtight case so they can win, and these people can the prosecutors can rise up in the political positions. You got to be fair here, bro. It's things on both sides that should be looked at thoroughly. We're not going to act like just because they're law abiding and that they're fair people. I've had so many trumped up charges in my life. No. Do you know if you open? Do you know if you hold on, let me say this last thing. You know if you open
15 minutes ago was your last thing, dog.
No. Do you know if a door is open, it's unlocked, right? And you just turn the door. I know I've been in trouble with the law all my life. If you open the door and the door is already unlocked, you know that's burglary. Just by opening the door, that's burglary. That's a 4th degree burglary charge. So what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying it is,
that is not burglary.
Bro, I've been charged with it. Don't tell me. See, you know a lot about everything, dog, but you don't know everything, my nigga. I was in the courtroom. I was in the courtroom for it. What are you talking about?
Okay, so are you saying that your case is similar to this one right here?
No,
then why are you bringing it up?
So,
Your
because I'm
case
trying,
was
to tell you,
state
I'm trying to
case,
tell you,
not a federal
I am
case.
trying to tell you, I'm trying to show you, how law, the law.
Get the fuck off my stage. Exit left, my nigga. You just coming with slippery slope arguments, my nigga. Are you serious? You opened up a door? Bro, have a nice night. We done kicked you off to the mountains of Abraham, FBA. What are you talking about? You talking about everything but the... Fuck out of here. First you said that Puffy never denied it. Then we done pulled the source where it says he's denied it. And you talking about, did you know if you open up a door, it's burglary? Give me a fucking break. It's nothing I can do at this point. I don't know. I don't know what to say. You got many victims that are going to be coming forth. They are gathering their witnesses now. That's how a court case works. Then you said that I'm on here lynching him. He did it to himself. They've got people that have already turned state against him. They're going to offer anyone that wants to speak against him federal immunity because they're trying to take his ass down. Oh, he's an icon. Hey, the law is always trying to go against us. Meanwhile, you say these things, beloved, and you are FBA. These are the slippery slopes that you Negroes like to create. He did this shit. They have been speaking on this shit for years. Aubrey O'Day was the first someone, at least that I know of, was the first people to come around here. And then you're the one implying that I don't know what I'm talking. This is a federal indictment. It's unsealed so everybody can see it. No, I'm not a crybaby. You just talk too fucking much. You're up here talking about everything but the charges going against him. 1 minute you say, yeah, they got him. That's good enough for me. And then you still fighting against it. Stop, bro. Let's continue to read what the federal indictment says, because I'm going to listen to what's going on here. Aubrey O'Day, the lead singer of Danity Kane, had been saying for years he was dangerous. You know, that's the one thing we got to stop doing as black males. Just because somebody produces a fucking rap record, we got to stand on their side and fight for them and believe them. None of this has anything to do with your life. And just because I'm on here reading what the feds have against the federal government has against Sean Puffy Combs, don't mean I can't go listen to a Jay-Z record or I can't go listen to Pharrell. Those are two separate entities. One is entertainment and the other one, this is law. Get real. Slippery slope fallacy. Yellow flag on the play. Come on, Top Flight. I expect better than that. First thing you said wrong. Let's go right here. He never said it. No. He never said that. He didn't. He said he never hit her. Then he got caught and said he was in a dark place. Released that dumbass video. It says it. Sean Diddy Combs denies allegations of rape and abuse. Sean Diddy Combs is facing a lawsuit from his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who alleges that the rapper R-worded her and physically abused her throughout their on-again, off-again relationship. Right? Sean Diddy Combs is denying allegations of the R-word and abuse from his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who he dated on and off for almost a decade. Quote, after years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships, quote, end quote, she said in a statement to NBC News.
Quote, with the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. However, an attorney for Diddy, 54 years old, denied the accusations amid her filing. Quote, Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive, outrageous allegations, end quote. His lawyer, Ben Brofman, told E! News in a statement, quote, for the past 6 months, Mr. Combs have been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. So I guess, Mr. I'm a savage, when that video surfaced of him hitting that sister, Mrs. Cassie Ventura, I guess it was all lies. See, the lawyer speaks for you. The lawyer does what you tell him to do. And one thing a predator does is they lie and they project. I'm a savage! Ain't that what he was saying? He been projecting the whole time. This is not a lynching. He did it to himself. Let's look at what else they got on them. They ain't just making it up. You didn't catch a Fed case for opening up a door. You didn't catch a RICO case for opening up the door top flight. You slippery slope YouTube Negroes make me sick. Love you, big bro, but you wrong for that. And it's a silly argument. Why kick him off? Because he wouldn't let me talk. And this is what I do over here. You don't like it? We're reading the facts. The feds don't make up things on you. They place it in front of you and they said, that's what we got on you. And you guys are only speaking from the outside looking in. Oh, it's only Cassie. It says victims. It says lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often the pretense of a romantic relationship. Female victims. It says female victims. That's plural. They have to be very precise in what they do. Let's look at what he said. We got to finish reading this. We got to get back on here because this is supposed to bring up these feelings, because many of the people that have something to say about it are the same people that are running around commenting it, trying to make it look like a conspiracy from the government to take down Sean Puffy Combs. It says Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers, which means probably adult movie stars, that Combs referred to as, among other things, quote unquote, freak-offs. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, the M word, you know, that yanka, butted during and often electronically recorded. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs enterprise, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across the state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes, unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept the videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. I guess they just made it all up, huh? They just making this all up. It's just one elaborate scheme to tear down multi-millionaire Sean Puffy Combs. He's guilty. He did it. I think Kwame Ma'at Ra Mentu Hotep. I think our brother just doesn't understand law. You can't send prostitutes across certain state lines because not every state agrees with prostitution, especially for sex acts. Go read the law. Other than that, you just got a feeling about it. You just feel a certain way about this. Members and associates of the Comb enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies. I wonder, is that where all the thousands of bottles of lube went, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting, cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for the victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to and from freak-offs, resupplying Combs with requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to Combs to pay the commercial sex workers, and scheduling the delivery of IV fluids. Now, recently there was a woman commercial sex worker. Her name is Kira Noor. She said she had participated in some. And there was another one by the name of, I can't remember her name. She said, yeah, we participated in it. But because she's a commercial sex worker, she can just say, hey, I'm going to Miami to do my work. If she's not a prostitute or whatever, I don't know how they're going to play with that. And guess what? A lot of the people can come forth and say, hey, look, I was complacent in this one. I agreed to do these things. I'm pretty sure that there were people that agreed to do these things, right? I'm pretty sure that there are people who are still afraid of his influence behind bars and will say, no, that we were in agreement with this. I'm pretty sure there are people that are afraid for their lives because of this situation. This is a dangerous person. This is why he was denied bail, because many of these crimes were committed right there in his home, the same homes that he wants to go to. I heard he wanted to sell one of his homes, so he can make when they got rid, I think they were going to set his bail at 50 million and decided, no, we're not going to let you out. There's also been some stories about, hey, he'll turn his passport in because he doesn't want to be seen as a flight risk. Because let's face it, no one wants to be behind bars. And trust me, this case isn't going anywhere no time soon as they gather all the witnesses and the evidence that they're going to be using in this case. And trust me, there are some high-ranking people that have a lot to do with this also. But the courts are going to grant them immunity. You better believe it. Because the feds play for keeps. It's simple. I mean, what are you doing with 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant? Imagine going into my little small bathroom over there, a couple of rooms down. Imagine that. 4,000 bottles of baby oil. Like, what are we doing here with that? I mean, all of this, when you think about it, all of this lines up to what everybody had been saying about him. I'm pretty sure they have written statements so far from a lot of the people about the baby oil, about him recording himself. I'm pretty sure they said they have obtained thumb drives and all types of recording devices in his home. I'm pretty sure these things that he were going to use to threaten their family or friends or employers with, Hey, I'm gonna send this off. I have a male commercial sex worker. That girl is an adult movie star. Here's a video of her. You know, always getting somebody else to do your dirty work for you, and then sit behind the scenes as if you have nothing to do with it. See, that's the move. That's and then calling the hotel to try to bribe them for the video. That's called coercion. Oh, they were prostitutes, though. What about her being kicked in the stomach? You don't think she have a family, Kwame? You lost me on your argument there. You lost me. You lost me, bro. Me and Top Flight having a good time. Everybody know you get removed after so much ignorance. Yara do the same thing. These are the facts. This is what they're going after him. This is what they're saying. This is what we got you on. And they're not even finished because they're saying they want others to come forth and say something. We got them. Look at this. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak-offs. Combs, and we saw that with Cassie. He subjected her to physical and emotional and verbal abuse. He had a robe on running outside. I mean, a towel. I mean, you busted right there. This lines up with what a lot of the people have been saying about him. Combs maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim's appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. I wonder, is that how Kim Porter died? That has nothing to do with this. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But they said she took some medicine, and next thing you know, she died. And she was writing, she was saying that she was going to write a tell-all book. During and separate from freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, and threw objects at and dragged victims at times by their hair. We saw that on camera, didn't we? These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihoods, included if they resisted participating in freak-offs. Victims believed they could not refuse Combs' demands without risking their financial or job security or without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Combs also used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during freak-offs as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims. This is ridiculous. This and it just goes on and on and on. How he was calling people, threatening people. They have all the phone calls. They have all of them. They're gonna play him in the court. They're gonna present it as evidence against him. What is he gonna say? That's not me. All he can do at this point is just talk, and hopefully, and just pray. Maybe they'll grant me some leniency. Maybe I'll get 25 years. You turned Bad Boy Records, Faith Evans, 112. What else we got on there? He recorded Usher, said, "All the time I think of you, holding on to someone new. Don't make me lose my mind." I mean, you name it. Big, Craig Mack, Mace, The Lox. I mean, just like that's the soundtrack of our childhood. R. Kelly, soundtrack of our childhood. And they always let us down, don't they? And we try to find a way to get them out of it. And you know what? I can't blame Top Flight. I can't blame Kwame. It's cognitive dissonance. There's a wall. They're seeing all this evidence against him. And they don't want to believe it. You don't see any celebrities coming out speaking up for him. You don't see any of that. You don't see now one bad boy artist with anything positive to say about this man. You don't see Faith. You don't see the Locks. You don't see Mace. You don't see Cameron. He wasn't on Bad Boy. Diaz is dead. You don't see Christopher Williams. You don't see Albie Shore. You don't see anybody saying anything positive about, nah, he never did that. This is ludicrous. You don't see any of it. You didn't see any of it during R. Kelly's when all those allegations were coming out about him and all the women started coming forth about him. You didn't see it with him. Well, guys, just to let you know, Kwame did a presentation on JJ7000's channel. I think that's all I need to hear there. And I actually kind of like just, So this is, I expect these things to happen. Gotcha, Kwame. And you were more than welcome to do that. I don't control people over here. I saw the presentation. I thought you did a good job. I don't know why you chose to do it on there, but looking at some of your comments on how you believe a federal indictment, sealed and unsealed document, is just make-believe. They have evidence on him. I guess the thousands of bottles of lube was just all make-believe. I guess they just planted them there, huh? We got to grow up because we are in a deep, 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 deep sleep. This is the 14-page indictment. And trust me, this is enough. The racketeering conspiracy. There's the racketeering. It starts at 13 on page 8. This will have to be another time because I got to get into racketeering. But we see what his influence has done. We see him conspire to do certain things. The threats to victims, everybody that's going to be coming forth. This is just telling you what they have against him. They haven't even gotten all the witnesses together, and he has not been granted bail because he's a dangerous person, what we're reading here. All you know is Cassie. That's all you know. Remember the woman that was shot in the face by this nigga with the Shine incident? I guess she lying too. She said Puffy did it. Let's look at what racketeering is. A, multiple acts of kidnapping chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Penal Code 207, kidnapping, California Penal Code 21. Let's move on. B, multiple acts involving arson, chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Penal Code 451. We know about the Kid Cudi incident. These are the racketeering aspects of it. Multiple acts involving bribery, chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Code 137. These are all things: bribery of a witness, such as the Los Angeles hotel video in which he called, such as the multiple witnesses that he has called over the phone during this federal investigation, in which they said that they have tapes of. When they play these in court, what is he going to say? That's not me. No, that's an AI. Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18, United States Code Section 1512, relating to tampering with a witness, victim, or an informant. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 and relating to forced labor, as in the sexual acts. This is the racketeering element of it. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18. This is the racketeering act, once again, related to sex trafficking. G, multiple acts indictable under Title 18, United States Codes 2421, 2422, and 2, relating to transportation and the inducement to travel for travel purposes of prostitution and other illegal sexual activities. H, multiple offenses involving the possession with intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics and controlled substances, including cocaine, oxycodone, I can't say that word, 3 to 4, I can't say that, methylenodoxamol, blah, 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 blah. Can't say it, not gonna try to say it. But these are all illegal substances that he has. Bromodimethoxy, phenethylamine, gamma hydro, can't say those words. In violation of Title 21. A lot of illegal substances here, y'all. This is when you saw him placing those IVs in those people's arms. This is what they got him under. You're inducing them. And you better believe when these people come forth to speak in his organization, they're going to be granted immunity. And trust me, this case ain't going to start, this trial ain't going to start next week. Because the defense lawyer can come in and say, okay, all right, he's going to try everything he can to them not to present certain evidences against him. That's his job. Look at this, 14. I want to read this. 14. It was part of the conspiracy that Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, Diddy, and PD or Love, the defendant, agreed that a conspirator would commit at least 2 acts of racketeering activity in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise. That mean they got a witness. That mean they got somebody. That mean there was a phone tap somewhere. I thought you said this was only about prostitution. That mean they got him talking to somebody to commit an act of racketeering. From at least 2009 up to and including to about 2018 in Southern District of New York and elsewhere, as part of his agreement to conduct and participate in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity, Sean Combs, the defendant, agreed to, in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruit, entice, harbor, transport, provide, obtain, advertise, maintain, patronize, and solicit by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion, as described in Title 18, United States Code, Section 1591. Count 2, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Bro, what are we doing? I'll tell you what. He's gone and he ain't never going home. Hit with the RICO. They repoed your vehicle. Life was all good 2 months ago. He's busted. Yeah. You did do a good job on Abraham being from Europe, but you're doing a poor job at representing Puff Daddy today. Don't be a lawyer no time soon, Kwame. You did an excellent job. Never going to take that from anybody. When somebody presents excellent information, I will never do that. You did an excellent job. Throw his ass away and lock away the key. Because what I've been hearing from Gene Deal been coming off saying, yo, that stuff over there in New York, in Vegas that day in California, that had nothing to do with Pop. That was all Puff. What, he lying too? Puffy, a piece of predatory shit. With that being said, family, those are the facts. And the facts break backs. Don't stay stupid. Get smarter. We signing out, y'all. Peace.